All right, how's your day going so far?
A little bit tired because I wasn't making, or I was answered my test about the job that I'm playing.
You weren't what?
The test that the Twitter, do you
Oh,
remember?
the test that you had to do for the job interview, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you had to do it today.
Yesterday, well, I think it's very hard. It's a little bit hard. It's not easy to answer, but I I have the first answers. It's very theoretical, so yeah, I answered the first part. I only have to write in my computer, but with a specific program. So there's in two parts. So the first one I already did it, but only by hand. I have to translate in computer.
I see, I see. And how's your day going, Denise?
Well, I think that this part of the week I feel a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Yes, I am happy because tomorrow is going to be Friday, so this is
I
the
know, I
best
know,
part.
me too. Me too, it gets kind of tiring towards the end of the week.
Yes, but
Okay, so sorry, we're gonna start with some warm-up questions and some chatting real quick, and then I want to get right into doing some grammar in our book.
okay.
Okay, so again, we're gonna do these questions that have IELTS vocabulary on them. First question, are you worried about the environment?
You, Eric.
I can't hear you well.
Your microphone. No, we don't hear you. No.
Now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yes, in general terms, yes, but I don't know. Maybe I'm living all time living with this environment, and I don't know. Sometimes I even don't think in these kind of things, but yeah, obviously I'm worried about this because it affects us in all sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it affects us in many ways. What about you, Denise?
Well, yes, I think that I'm very worried about the environment. I think that right now, very hard problems are going or we are facing in the planet. So I think that these problems will get worse in the future, no, to the future generations. So I think that we should make more actions to improve how the environment is going on.
Yes. Rather than we should make more actions, I might suggest that you say we should do more.
We should do more. Okay. We should do more.
Okay, next one. Do you notice the pollution where you live?
We used to work in the BVA towers. So in that place, if you go to the, well, even in it doesn't matter in which floor, but you can see all the pollution of the city. Here, and no, I think it's not usual to see it, but it's very interesting to see the pollution in the tower because it's a contrast, a biggest contrast, a bigger contrast of how can see it here in down and in a floor.
Right, right. To see it from the tower.
From the tower.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Denise? Do you notice the pollution?
Well, I think that we are accustomed to these pollution situations. So I think that if we go to another place and breathe different air, no, and different kind of situations, we should notice more this problem in the city, no? So I noticed pollution when I was in my work, no, when we were in the building, because it was more evident, no, that the pollution is in the city when you are, as Eric said, in the high in a high place.
Yeah, you can see it very well, right? Okay. Do you know if erosion is a problem in your country?
Well,
Yeah.
erosion is when the earth starts to fall down, no?
Right,
From the
right.
mountains.
When the topsoil starts to go away.
But I think it's even you are talking about sea or other things, not only for air. I think I don't know. Well, in Spanish, I think is erosion for sea or water. Uh,
Right,
I don't know.
right. It could be because of water as well.
So the answer is yes. In some highways, you can see these kind of things because sometimes mountains, or I don't know how to say this, but little mountains sometimes are
Hillside.
erosion. Yeah, hillside. Okay.
The hillsides fall down.
Yeah, sometimes. And I don't know, even if you go to some beaches in particular, for example, Cancun, there are a lot of erosion there, and the government has to bring. I forget the name of these little rocks.
Gravel?
No. There are in all seas, in all the beaches. Sorry.
Like Denise said.
Seashells?
Sand. Yeah.
Sand.
Okay, sand. So I know that the government has to bring sand for another beaches to Cancun because the situation there, even we can assume the corruption about the hotels and the other things, but yes.
Right. Denise, do you have anything to add?
Well, I think that I am not an expert on this topic, but recently I've read a lot of news related to erosion, no? Erosion as a problem in Mexico. And usually these news talk about erosion in beaches, no? Big holes that appear in the city or in towns, no? So I think that it is a great problem that we should know more about it.
Right. Yeah, you're right. In Mexico, it seems to be the conversation is about beaches, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The loss of beaches. Okay. Which animals are losing habitat in your country?
Waves, it could be in the north of Mexico, in
Whales?
Baja California Sur. I know that it's almost extinct or disappeared, this kind of species. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard about it. So I don't know if currently or if this is happening now, but I hear about it.
Yes, right. I heard about it.
Okay.
Well, I think that animals in general are in a difficult situation because cities are growing, no, people is growing, so they have to be safe in other places, no, and sometimes these species disappear, no. So I don't know of a specific species animal that is in danger. No, I think about whales, as Eric said, or some animals that live in the rainforest. No, but I think that it is a great issue that we should make some changes so that this situation can be better for people and animals.
Yeah, for both, right. Right, that's a good point. You know, like I think when we're talking about climate change and the planet and everything, you know, a lot of times it's like save the whales, but it's like, well, yes, save the people too, because we're not gonna do so well in the next 100 years if climate change continues like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are there controls on car emissions in your country?
Yeah, there are some rules, but I think it's are inefficient. For example, not all the cars. Well, we have an identification of each car of the country in Mexico. So I don't know how to say this in English, but this identification has some numbers and letters, and sometimes a specific letter, a color or a letter, it can't write or yeah for the city or the country. Well, I think this is only specific for Mexico, well, Mexico and Southern Mexico.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think that there is a lot of corruption in Mexico. So I can say that in some states in the country, there is not a lot of control, or there is not enough control on car emissions, no, because there is more corruption than in other states, no. I am thinking about state of Mexico, no. For many years, there has been a very corrupt government. So when cars have to achieve this um, these control emission policies, no, they sometimes pay money so that they can pass this test, no, or the test that help that this pollution situation be better, no. So I think that this is a great problem in the country, no, and it has to be better so that we can have a cleaner country.
Right.
Talking about pollution.
Right. Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of corruption, even though policies exist. There's a lot of corruption. Pronunciation of this word. This is just one syllable. States.
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 How did I say, Katie?
Status.
Status. States. Okay.
States.
States.
Okay. How would you describe? I know this is kind of a weird question, but sometimes they ask weird questions on the IELTS. How would you describe the soil where you are from? What is soil?
I don't know. The soil is the thing that cars use for work.
No, that's fuel. The soil.
Oh, okay.
Earth or dirt.
Dirt, earth. I don't know what do you mean?
Dirt, soil, the stuff in the ground, brown stuff.
In the plants.
Okay.
Denise, why do you start with this question? How would you describe the soil where you are from? Or I don't know if you've ever traveled to other places and noticed sometimes the soil is a different color or texture or has a different quality.
Well, it depends. I think that Mexico has different kinds of soil. I think that there is a lot of diversity in this part. I found black soil in many places in Mexico that it has a lot of humidity, no, and it is very good for growing crops, no, or having plants and have a good gardening, no. But I've seen red soil, no, that is in other parts of the country that has other characteristics, no. And this kind of soil is better for growing different kinds of crops, maybe some tropical crops, no, or like that. But I think that in Mexico we have very good soil because we have good productivity about talking about food, no, or yes, food, and this is a very good thing for all the people in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. For example, like I've seen the soil in Xochimilco and it's very black. It's very black and very fine. You could see that it's probably very good soil.
Yes.
Eric, do you have anything to add?
Not really, because I'm not very sensitive of the soil of the the
Not
place that I
something to
go.
pay attention to.
Yes, but I know that in the south of Mexico, the soil has a lot of minerals. For this reason, we have. Well, you can. I don't know how to say this in English, but you can plant different vegetables, fruits, and grow up very fast and very good quality. And in the north of Mexico, it's more difficult, but you can plant. I don't know how to say this. When you cosechas something.
You harvest.
Okay, you harvest other things more for drinking, maybe wines. I don't know.
Right. So different soil is better for different types of plants. Exactly. Yeah. So this is an interesting kind of thing just to talk about this question. You know, sometimes on the IELTS, on a test like this, they will ask you a very bizarre question that might happen, but you still have to answer it, right? It's an English test. So you could say, you know, it's not something I really pay attention to, but I know that in the south, the soil is good for things like and in the north, the soil. You just say like the first thing that comes to your mind, but you got to say something.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know any species that are going extinct in your country?
I know that in Xochimilco there is a species that it could be. I don't know if it will be extinct, but
maybe it's endangered.
Yeah, that I forgot the name of this species.
This thing.
Yeah, yeah. I know. And I don't know. I only I can think in this and whales, and that's all.
And whales. Okay. Do you have anything to add, Denise?
Well, I think that I don't know about an animal that is going extinct, but I think that there are some animals that are endangered, no? Like whales, like the jaguares, the toucan, no? It's another animal that I think that it is in a lot of risk. And I think that that's all, Katie. Yes.
Okay. So in English, we would pronounce this jaguars.
Wow.
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Wow.
Okay. Describe the climate in your country. So here we're making a contrast between the word climate, the climate in your country or in different zones of the country, versus weather, the weather in your city, for example. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how would you describe the climate in your country?
Well, I think it depends on where you are going, but I think Mexico has different climates. I know, well, I see arid, tropical, and temperate. I know what is temperate.
So temperate is kind of like a nice, I guess I don't really have the exact definition for you, but it's kind of a moderate temperate. Let's see a better definition that I could give you. Temperate. Relating or denoting a region or climate characterized by mild temperatures.
Okay.
Temperatures, so not too extreme.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we have in Mexico. It depends. I think it's more in the north. It's more arid, and in the south is tropical.
Right.
And it could be in the middle, temperate. It
Yeah.
could be, for example, Mexico City, Southern Mexico. Well, it depends which part of Southern Mexico, but yes.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Denise?
Well, I think that Mexico is a great country because we have a lot of different climates. It helps a lot in biodiversity because, well, we have arid, tropical, and temperate climates. We can see that it's more arid in the north, and in the south is more tropical. No, we are in Mexico City, so we have like a more temperate climate, no? And well, and this helps that, as I said, biodiversity, no? So we can have a lot of species, fauna, and well, this is a very good thing for us.
Great, okay. All right, last question. Describe the weather in your city.
Okay. Well, I think, well, now I think it's a little bit, I don't know if weather is I forget the name of this, rainy.
Mhm.
Okay, I think this season is more raining than the other seasons, but in December we have the weather that is more colding.
Oh, we just say cold. It's cold.
Okay, cold. Okay. We have more cold, and I think there is no more about these words because.
No, I don't know about these words.
Well, you know all the seasons in Mexico.
Okay. Um,
Okay, so these are some vocabulary words that we talked about once, Eric. So
Okay.
chilly means that it's cold, right? It's not too cold, but it's a bit cold. Muggy is sort of another way to say that it's humid.
Mhm.
Balmy is kind of the same thing. Actually, no, balmy I think would be more like just like nice weather, not necessarily humid. Sleet is a mix between snow and rain, and hail is, let's say, like balls of ice that comes down. Fog and mist are the same thing. Come on, neblina. Mild weather is just like nice, beautiful weather. And then we have rainy, that's another word.
well, I think that in Mexico City we have a mild weather, no? I think that in some seasons it is a lot. It is more rainy than others, no? Right now we are on summer, so we have a lot of rains, no? But when it comes autumn and winter, it gets sleety, no?
Yes, there's sleet. Okay, right. Mild. So it is
Mild.
Good. All right. So we're going to move on here today to our next grammar topic. I want to get started on this, which is relative clauses. Basically, today we're going to start out with something not too difficult. Really, I don't think it's too hard. We're talking about using the words who, that, which, and what. All right. So we're going to do this together. First, I want to read these instructions or these grammar rules here. Let's see, how about Denise? Can you start reading for us?
Yes. Study this example situation. Last week we had a party and a lot of people came. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody who came to the party enjoyed it. A clause is a part of a sentence. A relative clause tells us which person or thing or what kind or what person or thing the speaker means. The woman who lives next door to me. Who lives next door to me tells us which woman. People who complain all the time. Who complain all the time tells us what kind of people.
Great. Okay, so a relative clause tells us more information about a person or a thing. Okay, just it tells us more information.
Okay.
All right, let's continue here with who.
We use whom in a relative clause for people, not things. The woman who lives the woman who lives next door to me is a doctor. I don't like people who complain all the time. An architect is someone who designs buildings. What was the name of the person who called? Do you know anyone who wants to buy a car? We also use that for people, but not which. The woman that lives next door to me is a doctor. Sometimes you must use who, not that, for people. See Unit 95.
Good. Okay, so generally for people, we use who. All right, anytime we're talking about a person, we should probably use who. Sometimes you can use that for people. It's another option, but we got to be careful with that because sometimes it's more specific. So we'll talk about that in another unit, okay? But generally we use who. Possibly you can change it for that, but we do not use which for people in this case, okay?
Yes.
All right, next part. Eric, can you continue reading?
Yep. When we are talking about things, we use that or which, not who, in a relative clause. I don't like stories that have unhappy endings, or a story which have unhappy endings. Grace works for a company that makes furniture, or a company which makes furniture. That machine that broke down is working again now, or the machine which broke down. In these examples, that is more usual than which, but sometimes you must use which.
Okay, good. So when we're talking about things, we can use that or which. But again, in a future unit, we will talk about more specifically some situations where you absolutely have to use that. Okay, but basically for things, you can use that or which. All right, Eric, can you continue here?
Yeah, in relative clauses, we use who, that, which, not he, she, they, it. Compare. I met a Canadian woman at the party. She is an English teacher. I met a Canadian woman who is an English teacher. I can't find the keys. They were on the table. Where are the keys that were on the table? Not the keys they were.
Okay, so the point is here is like just the difference between two sentences versus combining them into one sentence. That's what we did here. We combined them into one. And then we don't need these pronouns anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the last part here. Denise, can you read this? With what?
Okay, what? It's equal the things that. Compare what and that. What happened was my fault. The thing that happened. But everything that happened was my fault. Not everything what happened. The machine that broke down is not working again. Not the machine what broke down.
Good. So this is a common mistake. Sometimes I hear in my students, they will say an error like this: everything what happened, or the machine what broke down. No. So to help you understand the difference between what and that, you have to imagine that what means the things that. So here you could say, the things that happened was my fault. But that doesn't work here. Everything the thing happened, or the machine the thing that broke down. No, that would be repetitive. Okay, so that's a little test you can do to check which is necessary to use, what or that.
Okay.
That clear more or less?
Yep.
Yes, okay.
All right, so this is pretty easy just to review. Basically, we use who for people, we use that or which for things. We don't need to repeat the pronoun, and we use be careful between the difference between what and that. All right, so let's do some of these together. Okay, this is easy. We can just do this speaking. What do these words mean? Choose from the box and write a sentence with who. Example, number 1, an architect. An architect is someone who designs buildings. Okay, what is a customer, Eric?
A customer, let me read. A customer buys something from a shop.
Okay, so we could say a customer, we could just use this part again, is someone who
Sí.
buys
Sorry.
something from a shop.
I forgot it.
No worries. Denise, what is a burglar? Do you know what a burglar is?
No, I don't know what is a burglar.
A burglar. A burglar, I'll do this one for you because I'm just going to have to give you. A burglar is someone who breaks into a house to steal things.
Okay.
So a burglar is a very specific kind of criminal. Or specific
Okay, I thought
kind
that
of thief.
it was a steals from a shop, but it's a different, so?
A thief. A thief. So it's a specific type of thief that breaks into usually a house to steal stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And Denise, what is a coward?
A coward is someone who is not brave.
Good. Eric, what is a tenant? What
A tenant is someone pays rent to live somewhere.
Good. Someone who pays rent to live somewhere. Okay, Denise, what is a shoplifter?
A shoplifter is someone who steals from a shop.
Good. Another type of criminal, a thief. Okay, Eric, what is a liar?
A liar is someone who doesn't tell the truth.
Great. And Denise, what is a pessimist?
A pessimist is someone who expects the worst to happen.
Good. Okay. All right. All right. Now you're going to make one sentences from 2 using who, that, or which. Example, a girl was injured in the accident. She is now in hospital. The girl who was injured in the accident is now in hospital.
Okay.
You need to find a way to put them together.
Okay.
All right, Denise, maybe you can do number 2 for us.
Okay. The waiter that a waiter who was impolite and patient served us? No.
Okay.
The waiter that served us was impolite and impatient.
Good. Very good. Okay. Eric, number 3.
But the first one that Denise said, I think is correct. It sounds correct. I think both, no?
The waiter. Okay, so the only comment, this is actually something we're going to learn in one of the other chapters here. It is correct. The only comment I would have on that is that we would need to use commas when you write it. So it'd be the waiter who was impolite. What was it? Impolite and?
I don't remember.
And something.
Okay.
Served us.
Okay.
So that's my only comment, is that in this case, it would have to go between commas.
Okay.
Because you're giving kind of extra information. So we'll talk about that in a later chapter. But yeah, it's not incorrect. You're right.
Okay.
The other one, the building that was destroyed in the fire has now been rebuilt.
Has now been rebuilt. Good.
Mm, the people. mm, the people that were arrested
Yes.
were not released, have not been released.
Have now been released. Good. And 5.
The bus that goes to the airport runs every half hour.
Perfect. Okay, complete the sentences. Choose from the box and use who, that, or which. Example, Helen works for a company that makes furniture. Okay, let's have Denise do number 2. The movie is about a girl.
That runs away from home.
Perfect. Number 3.
What happened to the pictures? Okay. What happened to the picture that were hanging on the wall?
Wonderful. Okay, number 4.
A mystery is something that cannot be explained.
Wonderful. Number 5.
I've heard it's good a hotel, but I don't know anyone. But I don't know anyone who has stayed there.
Good. I don't know anyone who has stayed there. All right, Denise, number 6.
History is a study of things that happened in the past.
Wonderful. 7.
Albert Einstein was the scientist who developed the theory of relativity.
Good. And number 8.
It seems that Earth is the only planet which can support life.
Which can support life. Good.
Okay, we use very few which. Can we use which or that in any case?
In this sentence. So remember what it said above that, well, in this unit, it says, yes, you can change them. But then there was a little note saying like, sometimes you can't. So okay, we'll talk about that later, but in many cases, you can interchange them.
Okay.
Okay, so this is pretty easy. And last one here. Are these sentences right or wrong? Correct them where necessary. Number 1, I don't like stories. Who? No, it's not a person. It should be, I don't like stories that or which have unhappy endings. Number 2, what was the name of the person who phoned? Yes, that's correct. Okay, number 3, Eric.
Where is the nearest shop who sells bread? It's incorrect. The who is not, it doesn't have to be there. And it's that.
That, good.
Dan said some things about me. They were not true. Dan said some things about me that were not true, no?
Good, yes.
The driver which caused the accident was fined? Fined?
Yes.
500 libras, pounds.
Pounds, good.
The driver who caused.
Good, yes, you could say who or that, but not which. Good. Find. To find someone is like give them a multa for money.
Okay.
Okay, number 6.
Do you know the person that took these pictures? It's okay.
Good, yep.
We live in a world what is changing all the time. I think it's which.
Which is changing. It could be which or that, yes.
Gary apologized for what he said. Yes, it's okay.
It's fine, good.
What was the name of the horse what won the race? What was the name of the horse that won the race?
Yeah, good job. Okay, that was pretty easy. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. It's also pretty easy. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading this. Look at these examples from Unit 92. The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor, or the woman that lives. The woman lives next door to me. So the woman is the subject. The woman lives. The way that I know it's the subject is, we could say here, the woman should, that's the grammatical subject, and then there's the verb. She does this action. Example, where are the keys that were on the table? The keys were on the table. Again, here we know that this is the subject of the sentence. The keys were. You must use who, that, which when it is the subject of the relative clause. You cannot leave out who, that, or which in these examples. So you cannot leave it out. It's absolutely necessary in the sentence. Don't forget it. However, there are some sentences where we can leave it out. Sometimes who, that, which is the object of the verb. For example, the woman who I wanted to see was on holiday. I wanted to see the woman. So I is the subject. I wanted. And the woman is the object. Right? The woman wanted? No, it's not the woman wanted. I wanted. I wanted to see the woman. So she's the object. Did you find the keys that you lost? Here, you lost the keys. You is the subject. The keys is the object, right? The keys lost? No, you lost. So you is the subject, lost is the verb, and keys is the object. So in these situations, when who, that, which is the object, you can leave it out. You can omit it. You can say, the woman I wanted to see was away. Take out who. Did you find the keys you lost? You can take out that. It's optional. It's optional. The dress Lisa bought doesn't fit her very well. You can forget about the that if you want. It's okay. Is there anything I can do? Or is there anything that I can do? Note that we always say the keys you lost. We don't say the keys you lost them. That little pronoun is not necessary. The dress Lisa bought, not the dress Lisa bought it. So just stop right there. Okay, so in these situations, we can omit the who, that, or which. So you got to be careful. Sometimes you can omit it and sometimes you can't. It depends if it is the subject or the object in the sentence. Okay, and one little note, this is a common confusion, a note about prepositions in relative clauses. Tom is talking to a woman. Do you know her? Do you know the woman Tom is talking to? This little to at the end is necessary. You have to put that there. I know it sounds strange to end a sentence or a question with a preposition, but that's correct. It needs to be there. I slept in a bed. It wasn't comfortable. The bed I slept in wasn't comfortable. This little preposition, you can't forget about it. It needs to go there. Are these the books you were looking for? Again, I know it's strange to put a preposition at the end, but that's absolutely correct. The man I was sitting next to on the plane talked all the time. The man I was sitting next to. This to is important. the books you were looking for, the man I was sitting next to. Okay, you don't need the little pronoun at the end. Right? So just keep in mind that we don't forget any little prepositions.
Okay.
All right, and then finally, another note about what. We say, everything that they said was true, not everything what they said. I gave her all the money I had. Not all the money, what I had. What, the things that. What they said was true. All right, so in conclusion, sometimes it's the relative pronoun here is necessary, sometimes it's not necessary, and don't forget the prepositions.
Okay.
All right, let's do a few of these together. In some of these sentences, you need to use who or that. Correct the sentences where necessary. Number 1, example. The woman lives next door is a doctor. In this one, it's necessary. We can't omit it. The woman who lives next door is a doctor. Okay, did you find the keys you lost? That one's okay. That one's fun. Number 3, maybe Denise, you can do this one.
The people we met last night were very friendly. It's okay, no?
It's okay. Yes, we can omit the that. You could say the people that we met, but it's optional. You don't need it.
Okay.
The 4 is the people work in the office are very friendly. The people who work in the office are very friendly.
That's better. Yes, good. Okay, number 5.
I like the people I work with. I like the people. I like the people I work with. I like the people. It's okay, no?
It's actually okay. Yeah, it's fine. You couldn't admit it. It could be I like the people that I work with, or you can admit it. It's fine.
Okay.
What have you done with the money I gave you? Well, yeah, I think it's correct, but I can put that in money, between money and I.
Exactly. You could put it here, but it's optional. All right.
What happened to the money that was on the table?
Good.
What's the worst film you've ever seen? Well, I think it's correct, and we can put
worst
that.
film you've ever seen. Or you could put that worst film that you've ever seen. Okay.
What's the best thing it has ever happened to you? What's the best thing that it has ever happened to you?
Almost.
Which it has?
So you're right that we need that, but we do not need it.
What's the best thing that has ever happened to you? Okay.
Good. Okay. What do you say in these situations? Complete each sentence with a relative clause. Example, your friend lost some keys. You want to know if he found them. You say, did you find the keys you lost? Okay. Number 2. Eric, you want to try number 2?
Okay. Friend is wearing a dress. You like it, you tell her. I like the dress you are wearing.
Good. I like the dress you are wearing. Perfect.
A friend is going to the cinema. You want to know the name of the film. You say, what's the name of the film? What's the name of the film you will see in the cinema?
Okay, you will see, or you are going to see. That's a little, actually, this is a different grammar topic, but what's the difference between will and going to?
I think depend.
Future and progressive?
I don't know. I think going to it, well, in my mind is something that it will happen very shortly. And will, it's like an in immediate action. I don't know.
Okay, you maybe have a little bit of the right idea. Okay, so we use going to definitely for a plan. Something that you already are basically more or less sure about. Okay, so that's why in this sentence, I would suggest going to, because your friend already has a plan. It kind of is like already decided.
Okay.
Okay, so going to is for more of a plan, something that's for sure. Will can be for a spontaneous decision. Right, like in the moment, like a quick reaction. Okay, a spontaneous decision in the moment, a quick decision. Okay, so it's not a plan.
Okay.
Also, we can use will for another situation that is a prediction. Right, something basically that you're not sure about. Okay, a prediction like I think that in 2050 we will have everyone will have self-driving cars. Okay. Or a spontaneous decision. What are you going to do after class tonight? I don't really know. I don't have any plans. Maybe I'll walk my dog. Right. Or when a quick reaction, also we use this, like if there's someone knocking at the door, let's say, I'll get it. I'll get it. It's kind of an offer. I'm offering to do it, a quick reaction to do it. Right. So basically that's the difference between going to and will. All right, where are we? We're on number 4. Eric, can you do number 4?
Yeah, you wanted to visit a museum, but it was shut. You told a friend. The museum that you wanted to visit was shut.
Good. What does shut mean?
Closed?
Closed, right? So, and maybe in the UK, they tend to use the word shut. In the American English, I would say closed. Good. Okay, number 5, Denise.
You invited people to your party. Some of them couldn't come. You tell someone. Some of the people invited couldn't come.
Some of the people invited.
You invited?
You invited? Good.
Your friend had to do some work. You want to know if she has finished it. You say, have you finished the work? No, I don't know.
Okay, you could say, have you finished the work you had to do?
Okay. Mm-hmm. You had to do?
You had to do.
I don't know, it's because we are using you in, I have conflict with that. With the have you finished the work? You had to, okay. Yeah, now I understand.
The word that is optional.
Yeah.
Pronunciation.
Finished.
Okay, and Denise.
You rented a car. It broke down after a few miles. You tell a friend. Unfortunately, the car has broke down after a few miles. The car you rented has broke down after a few miles.
Wonderful. Good. All right, let's do a couple of these. These sentences all have relative clauses with a preposition. Put the words in the correct order, okay? example. Did you find the books you were looking for? Did you find the books you were looking for? Okay, number 2, Eric.
We couldn't go to the wedding we were invited to.
We were invited to. Good.
Invited to.
Exactly. Number 3.
What's the name of the hotel you told me about it? No, what's the name of the hotel you told me about?
Good, good. I know it sounds very strange for you guys to just have a preposition dangling at the end of the sentence, okay? That sounds very weird for a Spanish speaker because in Spanish, you always put the preposition like earlier, the beginning of the sentence or something. But it's okay in English. It's actually totally fine, totally normal, totally good. All right,
Okay.
number 4.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the job I applied for.
Good, number 5.
Did you enjoy the concert? Did you enjoy the concert you went to?
Good. Did you enjoy the concert you went to?
Gary is a good person to know. He's somebody. No. Yes, he's somebody you can rely on.
You can rely on. What does rely mean?
Like
Rely on.
support, well, I don't know. Trust?
Trust?
Trust, exactly. He's somebody you can rely on. You can trust him.
Rely on.
You can rely on me. Okay, number 7.
Who were the people with you were in the restaurant? Who were
The people
you were in the restaurant?
you were with.
You were with? Ah, okay, you were with, yes.
Who were the people you were with in the restaurant yesterday?
Yes.
Good. Okay, I know the class is almost done, but we're just going to try to do this last one real quick. Okay, put that or what where necessary. If the sentence is already complete, leave the space empty. I gave her all the money I had is correct. I gave her all the money I had. You don't need to put that. You can put that, but it's optional. Okay, number 2, did you hear what they said? Okay, number 3, Eric.
She gives her children everything that they want.
Good. In this case, it's also optional. So you could say
Okay.
that they want or everything they want.
Okay.
Tell me what you want and I'll try to get it for you.
Good.
Why do you blame me for everything goes wrong?
For everything, no. For
That?
everything that goes wrong.
Okay, that here, so here is not optional.
Here is not optional.
Okay.
Unless you change this word, you could change this word for when. Why do you always blame me when everything goes wrong?
Okay.
Okay, number 6.
I won't be able to do much, but I'll do what I can.
Yes.
I won't be able to do much, but I'll do the best that I can.
It is also optional. It is optional here.
Okay.
I'll do the best I can. Okay, number 8.
I don't agree with what you said.
Yes, number 9.
I don't trust him. I don't believe anything that he says.
Is it optional here?
No, I think here is not optional.
No,
yes?
here it is optional. I don't believe anything he says.
Okay.
All right. Very efficient grammar class today. Okay, so yes, today is Thursday. Okay, so homework. for next Tuesday. You're gonna do in the Grammar for IELTS book. Remember, this is the purple book that hopefully you downloaded because I sent you a link.
No.
No.
And there is not in the link. We tried it before, but there is not
Okay.
more in the link. So
I'm gonna send you one more time. I'm gonna send you a WeTransfer, okay?
I have it. Okay, I can send to Eric.
okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
So, and there's some audio files for it too. Okay, so you're gonna do number 20, unit 20, which is about this relative clauses, except they're gonna give you more information. It's gonna go to the next level, more advanced level too. Okay, and also you're practicing like IELTS type questions, reading and listening. So that's good practice. All righty, guys. So you have a good evening and I will see you next week.
You too,
Thank you,
Katie. See
Katie.
you.
Bye.
Ciao.